a lot of you have a good distance to drive. We've got some guests that came in from upstate. Probably the longest club travel would be for the Hurley Club that made it. So they've got at least an hour and 45 minutes to Hurley from here. But John Rife's driving. So first of all, I'd like to welcome everyone here. I hope we have all clubs represented, but I'm not sure yet. We will know somewhere down the road in a few minutes, but we appreciate you coming out celebrating with the new Kiwanis Club of St. Paul Castlewood. So we're fortunate to have a new club in this division. This is was the first club to be chartered under Governor John Rife's year. There is another club that just recently chartered up in Maryland, and I think they have 15 members, and they're what they call it, a satellite club, not a satellite club, but internet club. They meet on the internet. They're a young professional group, and then they will do their service projects. We're just glad to have those folks too. First of all, we're going to start out with like we do most meetings, we're going to do our pledge first. Bob Harrison's going to do that for us. He's the veteran of the United States Air Force.
Everybody please stand. Flags up here. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Bob. If everybody would just remain standing for a moment, please. Jennifer Bailey is going to do her invocation. And everybody just stand for a minute till she finishes that. You want to come up, Jennifer?
Yes.
What's that first step?
Would you bow with me, please? God, our Father in heaven, we are so thankful that you've allowed us to be here today. I pray your blessings upon every person who came through the door, every person in every club that's represented here. Lord, help us to make a change in the world. Help us to take goodness and peace and joy and love to people who don't have it right now. And Lord, I pray your blessings upon this meeting, that it might glorify you and that it might build people up. Bless the food that we're about to eat, and just bless every portion of this program tonight. In the name of Christ, amen.
Amen.
Everybody can be seated, please. I have a couple items to mention before we get started. If I could have your attention just a minute, please. Let me mention a couple things before we get started with dinner. The front up here has programs for everyone that came out tonight to celebrate. Also, they're receiving the money for the dinner. It's been nice if John Rife would have paid for it for everybody, but you know, what can I say? So also we have a guest book that is circulating. We would like to have everyone sign that guest book and put your club name on it, please. This will be part of the history for the St. Paul Castlewood Club. Also, there are name tags up here for the charter members of the new club, if you'd like to pick those up. We're going to have dinner in a few minutes. I think they're already starting to bring salads out. There's still finger food back there if you like it. If you like beer or wine, you're welcome to go back there. That will be at your extra expense. A couple of people I want to point out before we get started, real quick. Their special guest. Governor John, would you please stand? Governor John Rife has been at Kiwanis for 30-some years. He's a member of member of 4 different clubs. He's a member of the St. Paul Castlewood Club, Hurley Club, Council Club, and Grundy. That's his home club. John is very devoted to Kiwanis, and we're glad to have you here. John was instrumental in getting this, obviously, this club started. We'll talk about that in a few minutes. Also, past Governor David Hebner, I met several years ago. David, if you'd stand. This is not David's first trip to here, and you are from Lynchburg, is that correct? From Lynchburg, so he had a good travel to get here. We appreciate you coming and celebrating with us. Also, Southwest Virginia trustee Jerry Jones, please stand. Jerry Jones has been our trustee for the last 3 years, at least. He is a CKI advisor for Virginia Tech, those Hokie fans in here. So also, Jerry, you also participate in something else. You're Kiwanis. Key Club, okay. So he's been very active in Kiwanis for years. He goes out of office this year, and this coming Saturday we will be electing someone to take his place. His last day would be September the 30th. Thank you for serving us. The next person I want to mention is John Montgomery. John, if you'd stand, please. John is the public relations person for Capital District, serving under our Governor John Rice. You're out of Roanoke. He's been a Kiwanian a long time. He's a candidate for trustee, am I right? Yes. Candidate for trustee, which we'll have election Saturday. He traveled all the way from Roanoke to be here with us. He's also down here when we chartered Hurley, or Governor John chartered Hurley to celebrate with us. So we really appreciate you coming that distance. A couple other people I want to recognize real quick. I want to recognize Jack White, a 54-year Kiwanian from Abington Club. John, we're glad to have you with us. John is, he's a past governor. Jack is a past lieutenant governor, so we appreciate you being here. Also, the lieutenant governor for Division 16, John Lynch, please stand. We're glad to have you here. Also, I want to mention too, and we'll talk a little bit about chartering this club. We have a special guest over here, Shanghai Nichols. Shanghai, would you stand, please?
I'm eating now. John told me to shut up. He's paying for everybody.
Shanghai is a past Kiwanian. He's always around to help these Kiwanis clubs when they do fundraisers. He came over here and put boots on the ground with us the first day we went out to visit people to charter this club, and we appreciate you doing that. Also, Jerry Jones was over here the first day that we did that, came down to help charter this club. We thank both of y'all for that service. And I think that's all I have right now. We will go ahead and have dinner, and then we'll get on into the program. Anybody, hope I don't leave anybody out when I talk about these things. So enjoy your dinner. First, I would like to, Terry Watkins, where you at? There she is. I'd like to thank you for the food. It was wonderful. Give her a big hand. And all your help back there too. I'd like to thank Sugar Hill Brewery, Jennifer and Greg Bailey for laying out. I'd like to thank Pam Vance for taking pictures for us. Pam, thank you. Ernie Benko's filming it. It'll be on channel. What's your channel, Ernie?
19, among others.
Channel 19. It'll be on there. And I'd like to thank our two members from CKI. CKI is a part of the Kiwanis family. I think our CKI UVA-wise is the only CKI in Division 17. but Brittany Blankenship and Dawson Smith was the one that took up handed her programs out, took up the money. Thank you for coming. Both of these folks are freshmen at UVAY, so we'll have them for 4 years, maybe 5, depending on how long you want to stay. But John Ryan told me about Brittany, said she was a key clubber in Grundy, and she's coming to UVAY, so we grabbed her really quick, so we really appreciate you. Thank you. Jack White wants to speak just a couple of minutes. He promised me 2 minutes or 3. He's got something he wants to mention. Him and Dr. Alderman. Dr. Alderman and Kurt Alderman and Jack both are past lieutenant governors. Jack, you want to stand down there? Sure. Yeah. I'll get killed.
Kurt Alderman, Dr. Alderman over in Clintwood was the lieutenant governor for a couple of years of this division, the old one, number 8. He showed up at my club one day and asked me to succeed him. I never thought about it. I did serve a couple of years, enjoyed it greatly. And one thing we were talking about is what you're doing tonight, and that is getting a new club. Doc and I were driving down on 58 here one day, I think during my first year, talking about places in the division where we might start a new club. And we were getting close, driving through, getting close to Castlewood, and I said, you know, Castlewood in St. Paul would be an excellent place to have a new club. Each town is maybe a little small to support one, but put them together, they're right on 2 sides of the Clinch River. Put them together, it would work. Old Doc looked at me and shot back, Jack, it'll never work, they play each other in football. Well, I'm not saying he was wrong, I'll just say time has changed, and I congratulate you for making it work.
You folks that don't know Kurt Alderman, he was on the sidelines for the Green Waves for years and years and years. He was the team doctor, but all I ever did see him really do was take a towel, wipe their sweat. He would do it all the time, and he was there for many, many years.
Tell him I talked to him today, and he said he wanted to be remembered, couldn't get out that night.
You know, he's getting up in age.
86.
He's like Jack, they're in their 60s, and in trouble getting out. So thank you, Jack White. First of all, I'd like to introduce the club officers for St. Paul Castlewood. Greg Bailey is our president. Greg, would you stand up, please? Sarah Sawyers is the president-elect. Our treasurer is Daniel Stanley. And Neva Bryant is the secretary. All these will serve 8 months, and plus they were re-elected for another year starting in October, so thank you for serving. The club board of directors are the officers of the club: Deb Baca, Ian Holbrook, Dallas Vaughn. Dallas is a prior member of, which one was it? I mean, which club? Emory and Henry, member Emory and Henry, past president and past lieutenant governor for them. So he knows the family, so thank you. Next thing we want to do is let our keynote speakers come up. And I'm going to ask our club president to please come up and introduce those folks.
y'all for being at St. Paul and Sugar Hill tonight. When we first was talking about keynote speaker, I think Bob Ramey was the very first person who said, let's get Scott and Brenda White. So I called Scott and Brenda White. It's kind of like Moses in the Bible. Listen, I don't know what I'm going to say. I can't talk very long. I'm not a public speaker. He said, let me think about it. So we invited Scott and Brenda, and I don't know if they're going to tag team you tonight or what. It's up to them. But they have done so much. They're from the White's Rock Quarry family, and they've done so much for our community, time-wise, serving on boards. They've donated generously from their foundation. And so without any further ado, I'd like to introduce Scott and Brenda White.
Just so you know, I had not planned on speaking tonight because Scott is really the founder of the foundation that we have. He was just generous enough to put my name on it. But I wanted to come up and just say a word for a moment to let you know that, in my opinion, I've got one of the most generous husbands that there can be. He has a true love for the community. He has a love for people and for children especially. And he just pours his heart and soul into this, but he doesn't know he does it. It just comes so naturally to him that, you know, I said to him before we came down here tonight, why did you do this? Because most people want to leave money to their children, money to the churches, money to whatever. But Scott truly gives generously from the heart. Then the other thing I want to tell you all just briefly is, so you'll know why Scott doesn't speak very long tonight. First of all, he's not a speaker. But second of all, he was at Johnson City Medical Center this morning at 7:30 and had a minor surgery. So to have him here tonight is a real special gift to me. But thank you all for allowing us to be here.
Well, she was right on one thing. I am definitely not a speaker. But the subject is why I started a charitable foundation. And I'll just start from the short beginning. Back in 70, my father died and I took over the stone quarry as head of it. And we struggled because we were real small. We were the number 3 out of the other 3 quarries that was around, and we were putting in a mine safety dust plant to make mine safety dust, and it all kind of hit at one time, and we struggled for about 3 or 4 years, and we got, you know, what the other quarries didn't want. We were real small, had about 8 or 10 people start out working and produced 80 or 90,000 tons of rock. And in 73, 74 time frame, the coal company started doing more strip mining in a bigger way. And so they started buying little stone, and the other quarries were more from the VDOTs and the road construction. So we had the opportunity to service them with, you know, what they needed, which was not a lot. And then around 74, 2 things happened. The reclamation either started or started in this area of being more concerned with the strip mines, and so they started having to rock the roads better. They wouldn't let them track mud out on the road. So that picked up business, and then along about 74, 75, the Arab oil embargo hit. And a few of you older people here like me remember, coal was just, they couldn't get enough of it out of the ground. So the rock business really boomed, and from 74 to 78, we increased our production from to 90,000 tons to about 800,000 tons. And we got, and so we were the main ones supplying the coal country. And by that time, we were definitely more competitive than other quarries, and we were pretty protective of our business. So things were starting to get good for us. Then along about 95, I began to concentrate on some estate planning and what I was going to do with what kind of what I made. So in thinking about that, I thought about a foundation, and I really didn't know much about it. So when I went to the law firm to do the simple estate planning, they brought me up to date on what would be involved, and I thought, well, that'd be something I probably wanted. And and I guess in my life, my mother was always helping with food banks that they had back in the 70s and 80s, and the clothing banks, and always was trying to, to help other people. And sometimes it gets so bad that she would want me to give them a job at the quarry, and she'd bring them there, and finally I just had to tell her to give them a paycheck and let them stay at home because they interfered. But anyway, it was a big influence on me, and along with my grandfather that had an apple orchard back in I guess he started in the late 20s, and then he passed away in the early 60s, but he was always helping what he could. They just made a good living, and he'd always invite me to any little bit of food money or whatever. He'd either give him money or give them a job and pay them whether they showed up or whether they didn't. So, and there was about as many didn't show up after they got their pay as did. But anyway, it was it had influence on me on giving. So I decided to start the foundation, and I funded it at that time with a small amount of money, and of course we sold out in '97, which I hadn't really planned on, but that worked out. And so from that point on, I started trying to grow the foundation, and it is just a private charitable foundation that I'm the only one that puts money in, or Brenda will put some in, and we try to support the charities around here. About 20% of it goes out of the area to some of the organizations that help people in this area, like St. Jude's and the Shriners. And the rest of it is pretty much here with the civic groups, the Lions Club, and several of the churches that do, they have the food banks, they have the clothing banks, and I guess help people with the electricity bills and they fall on hard times. So we try to support the ones that do that, and then we try to support the Russell County Scholarship Fund and all. So we want to grow the foundation on, and also part of probably why I started it is, you want to leave your children something, but they don't need a whole lot. And fortunately, I like to work, and I've made, probably more than I think that they ought to have. So the foundation is a good place to put it, and you can fund them a lot one year or a little one year, and then the foundation just kind of pays out of what it wants to each year on kind of a regular basis. I guess the laws make you pay out at least 5% of what it is, and then if you want to pay out more, you can. But most of this area seems to get left out when you look at the rest of the state. And the area was real good to us. Our biggest markets were in parts of Wise County, Dixon County, a little bit of Russell County in the coal fields, and in Scott County. And things were good. They were good when I left. So we felt like that part of that ought to go back to those areas. So that's what we try to support, most of it. And especially the kids' athletics and things like that. But I've always felt like you need to, share what you had. Some people can give money, some people give a lot of time, and I think it's equally important that the people that give the time as it is for the people that give a monetary amount. And the way the quarry was when I started, we worked pretty much 6 days a week in long hours. So I never really got involved in any of the civic organizations that I probably should have. So we try to kind of make up the difference there. But I think a lot of Southwest Virginia and the people, the people in it, and so we just like to support it. So that's pretty much the reason that I started one, and I'm glad I did. And we, I'm gonna try to have it where it'll continue on long after I'm gone. What somebody decides to do with it, I believe what I'd like to see done with it. And whoever's taking care of it, I guess it'd be their choice if they want to change some of it. I'm a conservative fella, so I probably won't let my daughter have too much to say on it. So she's a Coloradian, but I do like, most of it we like to see come to Southwest Virginia. That's where I'm from, and that's where I like to go. So that's pretty much it, so you all don't have to listen to a lot of speech.
I've been standing over there at the door watching cars go by. They keep staring in here, I guess, at the crowd. I think I heard somebody say, are they giving beer away tonight? We appreciate Scott and Brenda for doing our keynote speaking. We really appreciate you. Thank you. I want to recognize next our sponsoring clubs. In St. Paul, Castlewood Club was organized and chartered. You have to have a sponsoring club. And there's a lot of clubs that have sponsored another club. But I wanted to think outside the box a little bit, do a little something different. Normally it's just one club sponsors another one. I was at a board meeting in Fredericksburg, one of the trustees spoke up and says, why you got 3 clubs sponsoring another club? My response said, let's do her, why not? I think it's good because it pulls us together, and I'm proud for 3 clubs in Division 17 to sponsor this club. So I'd like to have the president of Wise, Coburn, and Norton please come forward. These gentlemen represent the clubs of Norton, Coburn, and Wise. We really appreciate you all being here to celebrate with us. And when you sponsor a club, you get a package. It says new club sponsor 2017, 2018. Kiwanis is a global organization of volunteers dedicated to improving the world, one child, one community at a time. Congratulations. Those that are to go on their banner, they'll have those blue. Okay, come back up then. If we don't get pictures as we go, we probably won't get them, so everybody will sneak out of here. So everybody smiled besides me.
That's not line talking, so we're going to do what she said, right? Exactly right.
Thank you all.
That's a pretty expensive photographer.
A couple other people I want to thank too. Club officers, Greg's been wonderful to work with. Daniel's been wonderful to work with. They do a good job, especially Neva. Neva's the secretary, they're the backbone of the church. They do a lot of work club members don't see. They do those monthly reports. They send out an email asking for your hours or information. Then you don't respond, you get frustrated. I know how it is being a lieutenant governor, trying to get your clubs to respond to you sometimes. So it is a hard job to be club secretary. Club secretary Bob Spear at our club has been a treasurer, or not a treasurer, but a secretary for 21 years. So they may not ever get out of this job, I don't know. Thank you. Let's give them a big hand. I'd also like to thank a couple other folks. Got my glasses there, you can't see them. Being a lieutenant governor is a time-consuming job. Being a governor is a time-consuming job. And I think if you've been in those positions, and trustees also, if you've been in those positions, you know. If you've not, you have no idea, really. I have 11 clubs. Some divisions only have 4, but I've got 11. The most of any other division, I think there's one other division that has 11 clubs. I visit each club 3 times a year at minimum, but most of them I've visited more than that. Spend some time there. So when I go to Hurley, I spend 6 or 7 hours going to Hurley by the time we have a meeting to get home. The other day I went to Clinch River at noon, come across big, actually I come through Grundy this time, or Oakwood. Came back into Hayside at 7 o'clock. I left about 10 o'clock a.m. and got home at 10 p.m. that night. So it takes a lot of time, and I'm not saying this for me, but I think my wife Kathy and Rita put up with a lot from me and John. We're gone a lot. They may enjoy it. I don't know. They may part of it. But me and my wife's always got along good. We like to travel together. And I know I'm taking a lot of my time away from her, things that she'd like to do with me, hopefully. So, but thank you too. And everybody else that has wives and husbands that's put up with them for all these things that they do. Thank you. Next thing I want to do, I want to make sure all of our clubs are here. I think they are, but I want to double check. So when I call the club name, somebody from that club just shout out, please. Clinch River? Here. Okay. Clintwood? Coburn? No. Council? Grundy? Yep. Hayside? Yeah. Hurley? Yeah. McClure River? Here. Norton? Here. Obviously St. Paul's here, big numbers. Wise? We have all 11 clubs here, so I thank you for coming out and supporting this new club. The next thing I want to do, maybe a little out of the ordinary, but I want 16 people to come up and stand right here in front of the stage. Just club presidents, whoever, it doesn't matter. Just somebody come up and stand. I need 16 people up here. It doesn't matter who you are. Right here. No, it's on the bottom. Need 16. Come on up. Somebody else come up. Please come up. Start over here, count out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10. You need 6 more. Yes. 6 more. 11. I need 16. You told me not to.
What's my number? 12. I'm going to be 13. 12.
John,
Need 2 more, please.
Come on. I need 2 more.
Come on, Jerry, get up.
15. 15.
John, we got me 16.
16.
Jerry Jones, would you come up here, please, on the stage with me, please? We have 16 there, right? I'm going to let Brittany hold this. Hold that up there, Brittany. Let me look at it.
Up high.
That's Division 1 through 16. That's what these 16 people are up here for. There's 17 divisions in Capital District. We're the Leisman, number 17. We represent Buchanan County, Tazewell County, Wise County, and Dixon County. And St. Paul's really part of it, in Russell County, so I guess we could count that too. So these 16 people up here. Jerry's representing Division 17 for us, please. If you don't mind. So if you'd unfold that, please, let it fall. There's three things to unfold.
41.
Division 1 through 16 has 21 new members this year reported on the Capital District website. Jerry, if you'd unfold that one, please.
That's okay, Jerry, you're protected.
Division 17, one division compared to 16 division, has 49 new members. That's one on the Capital District website, and it only shows up until a few days ago. In all reality, because I know who has new members that's not reported yet, we have 59 new members. I did that for a purpose, obviously. See that? Our division,
Got right in your way.
we have 59.
You're doing good.
21, one division with 16 others we're competing against. All of them put together, it's only got 21 new members. And I think one of the things that I've encouraged our clubs to do, I've visited each one of them, I've talked to them, and I said, this is our 100th year in Capital District. We'll celebrate that in the rest of Virginia this year. This is probably one time in a lifetime we'll have a governor that's representing Division 17. John, stand up. Yeah. Thank you. One thing I told all our clubs, we've got to make John proud of us. He's here for us. He's been here for us for years. Now he's our governor. We need to stand out, and I think we've shown that. So congratulations to all the clubs. You all did it, and I really appreciate it. So some clubs have grown as many as 8 members this year. Every club has grown. Nobody's in the negative. We have 2 is still dead even, but every club, there's 9 clubs has grown this year, and that's not that way everywhere else, is it, David?
Not even close.
Okay, thank you. I'm not trying to make anybody look bad, so please don't take it that way. I'm proud of our division, proud of our governor, and I wanted to make it presentable that way. The next thing I want to do is Governor John Rife will come up, David Hebner, past governor, will come up, and they will present the charter to the president of the St. Paul Castle Club.
It's pretty hard act to follow right there. The one person wasn't mentioned here kind of so far, just at the state. And I've got 17 lieutenant governors, and the governor has a choice whether to get out of the room and let the 17 lieutenant governors pick the president. And sometimes that's done. I've served under 4 governors, and I've seen that done twice out of the 4, and it did not work out well. Knowing where I was in the district, and way on the southwest side, I knew that I needed a president of my class that was in lock seat with me. So I lobbied Jeff to be president. Now, because I lobbied my wife to marry me several times, I had to ask more than once, so I'm used to, I'm not used to so far, so I've been turned down several times, so Jeff thought about it. He did. He did not say, oh, I'd love to be your president. Oh, he thought about that, because I think he had an idea that we wanted to do something different this 100 years in Capital District. So finally, on the way back from Whitfield, he gave me a call and said, okay, I'll be your president. Now, at the convention, I had a little pushback from my lieutenant governor, because some of them wanted to be class presidents. It's quite an honor, frankly, to be president of a class, especially the 100th class. That's quite an honor. So I got a little pushback. And I said, no, I'm gonna pick my president. And I made some good decisions in my life. One is my wife, who's very patient. The other good decision I made was picking the president of my class. Let's give him an out. Now, real quickly, I know we do have to drive back tonight. This is outstanding. St. Paul Castlewood, this is as good that I could have ever imagined. The last club charter in the Capital District that had a charter night like this was 2 years ago under David Hebner. We chartered Hurley. Would Bobby, would you please stand up? President Hurley, would you please stand up, Bobby? Let's give Bobby a round of applause. The next question is a trick question. We had that date when we chartered Hurley was February, March under David's year, and so we wanted obviously the governor to be there. So it was challenging to get David to come in because he's very busy as a governor. I would totally respect that now. We wanted to set a date for Hurley, the governor, could come in. We kept swapping dates, got summertime, it got very difficult. So we finally set a date. The date was September 6th. Now I knew that date quite well. Others didn't know that date quite well, but I knew that date quite well. That's my anniversary. My 46th anniversary, I spent in Hurley at Hurley's charter night. So I want you to give my wife a round of applause. When Jeff and I came over in November to start looking at St. Paul Castle, I looked at your website. I thought, I kind of like to see where we're going. This location was mentioned 2 years ago by Kathy Steele, Lieutenant Governor Kelly Boswell. And we tried to work at them, but sometimes you got to put boots on the ground. It's a really working area, so I didn't have time as governor-elect. So as I was getting ready to take the term, I mentioned to Jeff, I said, why don't we go to St. Paul Castlewood, and let's look and see. So I went on the internet to try to learn a little bit more about St. Paul Castlewood. Your internet, your website was fantastic. I looked at your website, you got a strategic plan, you had an internet, a website that was just amazing. I saw what you did in the area, so when Jeff and I started working the area, we had 42 names on the list, and I passed several businesses who I'd like to stop back again and maybe see if we can join the club. But we started off with 16 members of Castlewood, now we're up to 24. I think this club, St. Paul Castlewood, and we've hardly worked Castlewood, I think I'm right on that, mostly St. Paul. I can't imagine this club not taking off in the stratosphere. Really, I can't. If anything, Wise, Copeland, and Norton better watch out, because this might be the club in Wise County. Wise County has 4 clubs, very unusual in the Capital District. 141 clubs in the Capital District right now. We've got 4,433 members, which is not exact because that's as of the first of the month. It changes constantly. But this club here has potential to be a part of this community for a long, long time. Let's give, one last time, let's give the St. Paul Castlewood members one round of applause, please. When I started my year, I kind of wanted a theme and I kind of wanted a name. So the lady who helped me with the name isn't here tonight, but another gentleman is here tonight. And I ran some names by my wife. We've had a past governor called Scott Zimmerman, Z. He called his team the Z team. So I knew with John, J, I've got John and Johns and Jeffs and Janice, and I thought, well, maybe I'll be the J team. I kind of didn't like that, so but we just said, that's, John, J team, something like that. And I said, well, I saw this movie, the right Stuff. So I thought, that would be maybe an interesting name, the Right Stuff team. My wife shot that down and she said, you're not going to call, no one wants to be a member of your team called Stuff. You can't call a team member Stuff. So I kind of dropped it, I did. And I started traveling around and I talked to Norton. And I said to the Norton Club, I said, I kind of like a name for my team. So a young lady came and said, why don't you call your team the Right Stuff? I thought, wow. The second time I my wife, I said, someone's mentioned that
you're not going to call your team the right stuff. So I dropped it again. We had a meeting up in Whistler with some of the team from Southwest Virginia, and John Montgomery I mentioned the same thing to my team up there. I said, I'd like to have a name. So didn't tell him. So he wrote down, he said, and did I mention right stuff team, John, or did you give me it? I mentioned the name, and you handed me a piece of paper. On the way down, he said, he was thinking of the name, but I asked the people coming down, give me some names. He had a piece of paper of what, John? Life Stuff Team. That was it. So I called my team the Life Stuff. Why would I do that? We've got to dream big. Now I'm asking my team to dream big. 25 years since we've had a membership gain in the Capital District. We're going to do that this year. We're going to dream big. I've asked them one more thing, to focus. We have a job to do. We need to open clubs. St. Paul Castlewood, to the best of my knowledge, is the earliest charter club in the Capital District history. So let's give them another round of applause. You only have one time to do it right for the 100 years. So our Right Stuff team, I think, can do it right. Now, I know I'm taking up some time, and some people have a long way back. Usually when I come to meetings, I got the longest drive. Fredericksburg, Hagerstown, Richmond, Roanoke, I'm the one that has the longest drive. Tonight I'll give that honor over to John Montgomery, Jerry Jones, and David Hebner, so I don't have that longest drive tonight. Now, I want David Hebner to come up with the past governor. We're going to present this charter to the club, so come up, David. David, you'll see David's a lot better speaker than I am, certainly for sure. He's taller. So you want to say a few words if you'd like.
He's better looking too.
A few words. I told you he was better speaker than me.
First off, thank you so much for inviting me tonight. There are a couple of things I'd like to point out. I'm very fortunate to be a past governor before John versus after John. I would hate to have to follow his shoes. John and his team have done a fantastic job. In Southwest, which Lynchburg is part of Southwest District, we're very proud of him and proud of his team. To the Baileys, thank you all so much for hosting this here tonight. Excellent place. If I lived closer, I'd be here probably every Friday and Saturday. Because of the distance, it'll only be on Saturday, sorry. Also, the Whites, thank you very much for what you did. That was very inspiring. You hit a note that resonates with me. When I got into Kiwanis, I think I first ran across Kiwanis when I was maybe 25 years old, which was a long time ago. And I was, anybody here heard of the Make-A-Wish Foundation? All right. My boss back right out of college, he started the Virginia chapter, and he and I started together. It was really his idea. I'd never heard of it before. And so my job back then was to go around and talk about the Make-A-Wish Foundation, what the mission was, and to raise money and in-kind gifts so we could make their wishes come true. And the Make-A-Wish Foundation, ones that don't know, is for terminally ill children. So their destiny is written in stone, and we're trying to make their last moments with them and their family something special. And so anyway, when I went and gave my talks, now who did I go see? The Rotary Club, the Lions Club. I didn't mean to use bad language, I'm sorry.
All right.
Okay, I apologize, I don't mean to offend anybody, especially the ladies.
Just don't do it again.
I won't. But what impressed me when I went to a Kiwanis club in Richmond, what they said was, when you give the speech about children that are dying, you can get anybody moved. It's an easy thing. But when I met with the Kiwanis group, they didn't just pull their wallet out and say, hey, we want to make a contribution. These guys rolled their sleeves up and said, what can we do to help? What do you need? Do we need to pick the children up? Do we need help find it? What can we do? And I'm like, yeah, I like that organization. And what Scott, I think, mentioned was, and it's so true, it's not how much money you give. Your time is equally as valuable, and sometimes means even more. Everybody has something to give, and that's the thing I love about Kiwanis is each and every one of us can give something and make a difference in a child's life. So thank you for your talk. It was spot on to me. I loved it. Last thing I'd like to say is, where did Jeff go? Jeff, congratulations. He has been an inspiration and one heck of a class president. I can tell you that from being a past governor. I'm very impressed with what he's done. And I think John and his team are going a long ways, and congratulations to the new club. It's an honor to be here tonight, and thank you for joining us.
Actually, I didn't recognize the trustee for Southwest Virginia. I apologize, Sherry. And I apologize for that remark on Tech. I'm a big Tech fan, actually. But let's give Jerry Jones, he's from the Montgomery County Blacksburg Kiwanis Club. So let's give Jerry Jones a round of applause, please. John Lynch, Lieutenant Governor from Abington, is with us with Division 16. John Lynch. Jack, if I mention your name, you won't speak again, will you? Okay. I'm kidding.
John Montgomery said we got all 4 trustees in the history of this division. Right?
Interesting. Jack White was first, David Evans was second, and I followed. Yeah, I guess I did follow David. I followed David, and then hopefully, and Jerry Jones, and then hopefully we have another one sitting at the table. John Montgomery hopefully will put his name in to the upcoming conference. Now, Lieutenant Governor, are we ready to present the charter?
Yes, go ahead.
All right. Could I have the President come forward, please? How would you like to do this? You want the club officer or the President? This is your show, President. How would you like to do this?
Whatever you want to do, it doesn't matter.
Come on, now. It's a heck of a night, hasn't it? So far, I'm sure glad you built this brewery. We've been enjoying this tonight. Tell me again, this is one of your largest crowds you've had?
We've never served 50% of the people that we have here at one time so far. So I think our staff pulled it off pretty good. Jason didn't get mentioned, but Gary gets the ideal. Jason executes it, and so I think it went pretty good. I looked at the last place that was put down, it was over here, and the chicken was steaming, and so I went, good job.
That's a good thing, yes, that's good. On behalf of the Capital District, you're actually the first club that was started this year. We have the one club that was started last week. It's called the Young Professional Club. It's an internet club. Kiwanis International is anxious to get clubs to do service work in the community, and they're very flexible on how to do that. And this is one of the first clubs we've had as an internet club. But this club is the typical club, and you're the first that's been chartered this year, so congratulations. I'll present the charter to you and signed by everybody, so congratulations. Thank you. First on the program, you have another club gift. You have other gifts to present? I do. I just didn't want to jump in front of the president.
I just wanted to let you all in the officer.
Let me give you one more gift then. This is kind of a surprise. I have a check. Will you accept check? Would Daniel accept the check?
I'll guess we have that.
You have a small check, $160. This is the check that's given to usually the club openers. The club openers, frankly, were Jeff and myself, but usually we pass this along to Hurley back when I chartered that club. So here's a small check in appreciation of their appreciation, $160 for your treasury. Okay?
Yeah, let's get Jeff up here.
My wife says to
Please.
Jeff. Get me off. There you go. Be careful for the president and the governor both to jump off. Okay, you want it with yes. Check probably no, I'm kidding. Let's do this. Can you get it like this? Okay.
Now we need to get all the officers up here. The Secretary, Treasurer, President-elect, President in those Let's start with Daniel down there. I've known Daniel most of his life, I guess, his family, and very proud of you, Daniel. There's Daniel's pen if you'd like to see it.
I'll be glad to. Now, I would say Daniel works for the state of Virginia. And you are what, Daniel? Auditor? So how much better to have our treasurer be an auditor? And how smart is the club to do that, right? That's right. And actually, Daniel, you've been to Grundy, haven't you? Yes, you did. You made it back, didn't you?
Several times.
Yes, you did. Congratulations. Thank you. Pass Governor David, would you again? We want to pass it along. David came a long way to pin somebody tonight. Can I mention one thing? We governors deal with secretaries, and it's difficult, sometimes challenging, not difficult, to get them to send the reports in. I have been associated with Kiwanis on the district level for about 8 years. I've never seen reports sent in like this young lady here. They are extraordinary.
I actually told John a few days ago, wherever we were at, that somewhere along the way, in a year or two, we need to get Neva to train our secretary. She does really a great job. We've got a lot of good secretaries out there. It's not an easy job. It's a time-consuming job, but she does a wonderful job. Just to be from the get-go start, not knowing nothing about it, so we really appreciate it. It was within, I don't know, a month and a half that the president, secretary, and treasurer went online and did their training. It was in the middle of the year. We just elected our president-elect last meeting. She's probably not had time to do that. So anyway, that should be president-elect check.
Congratulations.
Anytime you change office, you get a pin, whether it's president, secretary, treasurer, past president. So those pins for all of them. That's your president.
Let's go and do that. David, one more time. It's his hometown. You got to get out of here.
That'll be nice.
Okay, now we're going to get our members up here. We'll do it alphabetically, so when we give out the certificates, they're in alphabetical order, thanks to Neva, or Greg, whoever did that, and Neva did. So we'll start over here. The first one's Deborah Baca. Debbie, if you'd come up, please, and stand over here. Greg Bailey would be second. Greg, if you'd follow in line with her over there. Jennifer Bailey, next. James Boggs, make it up this way, James. Michael Bradley. Neva Bryan's next. Karen Dickerson, I don't think she's here, is she?
She's not here.
I would be next. I don't know if you know or not. John and I are members of the club. We joined, paid our dues just like everybody else. And I committed myself to a year, at least a year, to the club to be over here for their meetings and be a seat member for them. Kyle Fletcher, Bob Harrison, Matt Harrison,
Mark.
sorry, Mac on here, M-A-C-K. Okay, anyway, Susie Harrison, next, Ken Holbrook, Shelley Mullins, Ross Owens, Bobby Ramey, John Wright, Bonnie Sayers, Sheila Sayers, Sarah Sawyers, Daniel Stanley, Kathy Stewart, Dallas Vault, and Raymond Watkins. We also have pins, probably not too many people in here's ever had one, other than maybe Bobby back there says charter member. Don't see those, I didn't even know they existed till they sent them to us. So all these folks will get a pin that says charter member on it. We could have, everybody get in line. I don't know how we're going to get a group picture of this bunch. Yeah, we can do that once we give out these certificates. Okay, fine.
I'm behind you, John.
I couldn't find it. Congratulations. This is for Chevrolet. Yeah.
Good to have you, sir.
Get it out in a smart way.
There's 3 or 4 over 5 or 6 over there. President, Secretary,
So we've got to go.
President-elect, President here on the stage. Board members and officers, please come up on the stage. Once you get in. Okay, then, we need to ask the photographers if they've got everybody in the picture. Can you see everybody on your camera? Stop taking pictures yet, I got a mic. Everybody ready? Shelley, can they see you? Can you see the photographers? You can't, they can't see you. Okay, we'll go ahead and do it.
Problem is, it wouldn't hurt to take some more. Huh?
But Hurley did, council did. I'll come to Hayside if you let me know, just joking. But we do all kinds of projects, whether we do an Easter egg hunt, we do the Christmas parade wise, whatever it may be, we do different projects. Every club's different. But to do that, we have to raise money. Bobby's going to tell you something he's done for Hurley. Because Hurley is in a community that's not incorporated, smaller. You have to think outside the box, don't you?
Thank you. I'm glad, I'm really happy for you guys to see you chartered. I know you got a good time coming, I hope. I know we did. One time you'll wake up and you've got 22 members, and when you go pay your dues, you don't have enough to keep your charter, so you get out and you get to getting it. But I think we've got 6 of those new members. They're on there. But we don't have any big corporations where we are, you know, people give us money, so we've got to raise every bit of money we do through different projects. But right now, we run about $4,200 in our treasury. 2 years in, and we've had several good programs. We sort of got hooked up to Texas Roadhouse. And this is amazing. They let us have these peanuts, $1 a bag. So we sell them for $5. So they give us a coupon for a blooming onion free. So you get this bag of peanuts for $5. You get a coupon for a blooming onion or fried pickles as an appetizer free when you go to Texas Roadhouse. So I've got about 8 bags, so as me doing what I should do, I want to sell these peanuts before I leave here. But I'll put a bag in the gift box over here. But this is, we're going to make in 3 days, we'll make $1,400 and probably $15 and $20 in 3 days with this. So you think about your restaurants, you might stock up. Now we're going to do the rolls in Texas Roadhouse through the holidays, through Christmas and Thanksgiving. So we may end up doing pretty good. But the greatest thing about this, Texas Roadhouse to us is in Pikeville, Kentucky. So we were just lucky to get with them. And they did give a free kids meal to every kid that's there for our Easter egg hunt, got a free kids meal at Texas Road. So that may be an idea you might want to use, would help you in your fundraising. So we don't have anybody, we got coal companies there, but they make their money and they go. You know, they don't spend much back in the county. But I'll put a bag over here in the gift bag. I want you guys to buy these others. $5 a bag. Thanks.
Thank you so much. A lot to be covered here tonight. One thing I think I about forgot about, the club year, St. Paul Castlewood has a service project scheduled to go out and work on American Cleanup Day. Is that what it's called?
April 21st.
April the 21st. I think that's the same day as UVA's Day of Service. Same day. Go UVA. Kiwanis. Also, their first project for the community to give things to them is the police officers, or really sheriff's office started with some local law enforcement to do, what kind of bags they call them?
Comfort bags.
Comfort bags. So when a child gets pulled out of the home, social services or somebody pulls them out, for whatever reason, their parents go to jail or get drunk, go to the hospital, or whatever it may be, they have comfort bags. They'll have a little tote bag with a toy in it, hopefully a blanket in it, some other items, coloring books and crayons and so forth, that the deputies and police officers can hand those children as they leave the home. And I'm sure they're going to be frightened. I know where that's, being a police work for 33 years, I know how that is. So it's good to give the children something, and that's their project they're helping with. So if any of y'all have anything, they've already collected some over here. If you want to add to it later on, that's fine, so especially the club members. So great service project already. I think I could really walk away from St. Paul Castlewood right now and not come back, but I want to. They do a good job. They know what they need to do. They've done training, very organized, and just to be a new club, I think it's wonderful. So thank you all for the job you all do. Governor, you want to talk?
Just real quickly, yeah, that's how they make money in Hurley, in case you didn't catch that, 1 versus 5. That's how they make money, don't you, Bobby, over there? Real quickly, we have coming up April the 14th, which is Saturday, we have our Southwest Virginia Regional Conference. Now, Jeff mentioned the membership game we've had. We have some powerful speakers coming to that regional conference. We need to support that. I'm kind of on the line to get people out for that, along with Trustee Jerry and Lieutenant Governors. So we'd love for you to come out. Crystal, 9:30. We've got some international people coming. On Sunday, which is a little, this may be for you all, but we're going to have the first district ever, district-wide training for club openers, which is what Jeff and I kind of did, and club coaches. We have international people coming. We have the international president. That'll be his only visit to the capital district. He'll be coming to Roanoke. Jim Rossford. Actually, I tried to get him to call tonight. He's in Denver, the Rocky Mountain Blitz, and we just couldn't arrange the schedule. I would have had the governor, the president of Kiwanis International talking tonight, but I just couldn't arrange that. We also have the past international president, Paul Palazzolo, tremendous speaker. We've got those lined up Saturday and Sunday both. So we'd like to come up Saturday to Whistle. Jeff has the information. We've got some flyers here with me. So any question on that? And it's been a long night. Thanks particularly for Lynchburg, Blacksburg, Roanoke for coming tonight. I think you local people can see dedicated Kiwanians come out and travel and support you all. So again, from the bottom of my heart, thanks to St. Paul and Castlewood for supporting this club. District Division 17, as you can see, is Southwest Virginia is rising again. Division 17 is leading the way. Thank you all.
Other than the list I had, there's been 4 or 5 asked me to announce things. I hope I've not left anything out. Does anybody want to say anything or have anything that I've left out? Let me know.
I would say we'll give them a kickstart with a $5,000 donation.
Thank you so much. It's very nice. One other comment I have, Shanghai said I look very nice in used clothing. Thank you, Shanghai. If you all don't know this gentleman, he's a character. And also, Shanghai did leave something out. Glad I thought about it. Shanghai operates and maintains WDIC 92.1 in Dixon County.
Betty does, I just show up.
Okay, Betty does and Shanghai shows up. Anything that you want to advertise for Kiwanis, whether it be Easter egg hunt, service, well not necessarily a service project, but anything that you want to advertise, Shanghai will do it free. Thank you, Shanghai. Anybody have anything else? He actually said he would do it free, that's no joke. Thank you for that service. Any other comments before we go?
We actually have one new member that I got to check for tonight, so we've grown tonight.
Who is the member?
Lou Ann Wallace.
Lou Ann Wallace. Do we have a nomination for Lou Ann Wallace? Second? Second. All in favor, let me know by saying aye. Aye. We have 25 members. 25 charter members. It's a little different.
Jeff, I'd like to say, Shanghai, he was kind of instrumental with John getting this club started, so I think he deserves a round of applause.
We don't have too many openers, it's not Kiwanians, but you have been a past Kiwanian. Your sister's a good Kiwanian. So
it made me a bad one, huh?
Made you a bad one. So we do thank you. So
one thing, before the Kiwanis will be at the Briggs State Park this year, the second Saturday in July. It's a car show. The first year we started, we had 29 cars. Revenue about 135, 140. We were able to make about $6,000, and a lot of that money they help us. I don't know who said this on fire. I guess it was me. I've heard of hot roasted nuts, but I've never seen it. But we do appreciate the people that would come out and support that. It's a good thing.
course, appreciate the people who helped St. Jude's. My granddaughter just got out of St. Jude's about 5 months ago.
Second Saturday in July at the Breaks Interstate Park. And which club is it? McClure Kiwanis.
And then you guys have the race up, John. There's a race up the first Saturday in October for the Clumwood and Run Kiwanis Club. We go up there as a fundraiser.
You know, when I became, well, actually before I became a lieutenant governor, I started visiting clubs. When you visit a club like Hurley, Council, McClure, that does not have a town to support, an incorporated town, they have very little population, they have very little business, and they do what they do really speaks out for it. Because the first time I went to McClure, they went over their service projects that they've done in the past year. I thought, they've got half the members that we have, and they do more projects than we do. So a shout out to all these little clubs. These little clubs make a big difference in your community. Because you don't have the local government like the mayor here giving all this money away at St. Paul. But where are you, Kyle? No, they struggle. And we're proud of all the clubs, especially those that are in those small communities. So if no one else has any comments, be safe and God bless you.